that honesty piece to me is a big part of the problem. That that we're not when we use the language of everyone's welcome. This is a place where we practice hospitality. Everybody is we love you the way you are. All those things. We're not being careful about our words. We're not actually conveying the message that is most important to convey in these kinds of relationships. Because I mean, churches with a traditional sexual ethic, the same thing applies to a homosexual relationship as it does to an extramarital relationship, right? We have boundaries and we like to get along without really articulating those. We kind of want it to be the case that we don't have to. We don't have to say, well, if you're living with someone and you're not married, then there are things in this church that you're excluded from. It's like we love you, we want to welcome you, but the fact is this is a hard line for us, right? We can't affirm that, well, if you want to live in an extramarital affair, then that's fine with us and you're a full member here so you can do X, Y, and Z. That's just not the case. And the same applies to other dimensions of sexual ethics and other dimensions of all of the other ethics, right? There's lots of human behaviors that when the church says everyone is welcome, what they mean is everyone is welcome to participate in a community that follows Jesus according to this understanding of obedience, right? And it's not that we want to close the door on people who aren't there. We want to journey with people, but that level of openness doesn't mean we're cool with whatever. It just doesn't. And I think it's very important to be honest about that and to be a little more upfront. Now, in practice, I mean that's kind of challenging. What do you put a statement on your website, or you quarterly talk about, in a public setting, here's our sexual ethics, just so everybody, it's awkward, right? It's difficult to know how to do that well. But it's necessary if we're going to love our neighbors well, to be clear about what we mean by welcome, what we mean by accepting, right? And I think you're articulating very, very helpfully the need in relationships, if we're actually seeking to be in genuine relationships with people, the need to say, all right, here are the places where we're going to say to anyone who is welcome at this table, also go and sin no more. We are going to say that because we do have an idea of sin, and we're going to talk about that, right? And it doesn't mean you're not welcome at the table, but it's a table where we say those kinds of things.